So apparently everything old is new and trendy and cool. And no, I'm not talking about capri pants and low-rise jeans. I'm actually talking about old technology. Wired earphones, iPods, old digital cameras and camcorders, vinyl players and vinyl records. We see a surge in the market for these old technology. But why is that? People are not opting for the next new thing rather than going for this old 2000s version of digital cameras or film cameras. And this is not a joke. Since last 2 years, the sales for the vinyl records have surpassed sales of CDs. And this has not happened in decades. Is it just a phase, a passing trend, or is there something much more? I've searched the internet to see what people are saying about this bringing back the vintage technology, and I have some thoughts. So let's discuss all of that in this episode of Just Another Conversation. So I have taken some feedbacks from my previous video, which if you haven't watched it yet, by the way, go watch it. What are you doing? Watch it, go. But yeah, this episode I won't be reading off a script. I do have my notes here because necessary, but I'm not gonna read off the transcript thing, whatever, and we'll see how it goes. Also, a lot of people have asked me to bring in guests on this show, like someone else to have that conversation, which, yeah, I get it, and it's all in the works. It is going to happen, don't worry. And hopefully in the next episode, you will be greeted with not one but two beautiful faces. So yeah, get excited about that. And coming back to the topic, let's actually start the video now. Just to keep it concise in this episode, I'm not gonna include all the technologies that has been like surfacing up these days. I'm only gonna focus my examples on either digital camera, film camera, or record players and vinyl turntables. That's it. So what I've seen is that people not only digging through their own old stuff to find these technologies like 2000s digital camera and stuff, but also going to eBay and Amazon and buying these secondhand. And because there's a lot of Google searches and people going through internet and finding these and like trying to figure out how these work, we see a lot of companies coming out with their new technology, like their version of this old technology, meaning new products but with that old retro style. For example, I've seen Bluetooth speakers that are shaped in modern turntable vibe, and I have also seen like cameras, for example, Fujifilm cameras, they have this retro style to it, which looks gorgeous, but obviously the technology is newer and up to date. Also, the endless amount of film filters that we see in all editing apps for either video editing or photo editing. So it's not just the vintage technology, I think it's just the feel of it as well. It's both that have been like surfacing and people are really enjoying using it. So there are a bunch of reasons that actually explains this vintage technology obsession. First is the tactile aspect of it. People enjoy the connection between the medium. They have something that they can feel, which is not a touch screen for a change. So you kind of interact with that medium, and the medium itself has its own design and functionality, and the whole aspect of it being a tactile experience adds on to why people are getting attracted towards it. The act of playing music or the act of clicking a picture from the camera, it is a whole process. For you, you are adjusting the lens of the camera, you are looking through the lens, adjusting the lens, and then clicking a picture. There's a sound, there is you pressing the button, there is that feel, the connection. For the vinyl players, if you see, you take out the vinyl CD, you prepare the turntable, you place the CD, and then you place the pin, the pointer, the hand, whatever you call it, I don't know, onto the turntable for the music to start playing. So this is a whole experience, and the whole experience is tactile, which makes you feel connected with the medium itself. Point number 2 is simple. It's just that cameras and vinyl records, players, all of that being a physical object. If you have a hobby of clicking pictures, or you have a hobby of collecting music or listening to music, appreciating it, you would much rather enjoy collecting it and owning it. So the physical aspect plays a lot. You own an item rather than having it saved on a cloud, which means super disposable at times. You have something to display. As a hobby, it's more fulfilling to you to have the physical presence of the things that you are interested in. The camera design, the aesthetic of it, the lens, all of it is important and adds to the value. If you are clicking picture, you will frame it nicely, so because you know that it's gonna get developed and every frame counts. So for you, every album that you pick, every vinyl record that you have in your collection, every image that you have printed in your album, everything has a attached value to it. Because it's physical, you tend to care about it more, you tend to value it more. So the next point is actually, I think, pretty brilliant. It's the time and patience. Now, what do we do normally if you want to click a picture? You would take out your phone, open the camera app, and then you click multiple pictures. If you don't like it, you delete it, and then you click more pictures. Again, you don't like it, you delete it. If you're going out, you click hundreds of pictures and maybe post a few. For music, what do? You're listening to Spotify playlist. If you don't like the song, next, skip. Don't like the song, 5 seconds in, skip. What next? Okay, listen to it halfway. Okay, not that interested in that album. Switch the artist, switch the album. We do that. That's a tendency because everything is given to us. It's so disposable that if you don't like it, you would just But with this old technology, we are kind of forced to slow down in this hustle. Like, we are forced to be a little bit in the inconvenient zone. If you want to click a picture, you only have a certain frames in your film camera, so every frame will count. So what do? You slow down, you prepare for your shot, and then you click every shot, which is very meticulous. If you really want to click that shot, only then will you press the button. For music, for example, if you don't like a song, you cannot easily switch to records or skip a song in a turntable. It is a lot of hassle and it's not easy. It's super inconvenient. So what do? You tend to listen to the entire album front to back. It forces you to press pause in your daily life, and the more the thing is inconvenient or asks for more attention or asks for your presence or patience, the more you actually appreciate the outcome of it. So even if the same picture, if you clicked it on your phone and the frame wasn't truly the best, you would have deleted the photo, but you will save the actual printed version if it was through a film camera. Fourth on my list is the connection to the past. All of these technologies have once been the stepping stone of what came next, and we learn from history itself. So what has happened in the past? What were the mediums people used to click pictures in the past? How we used to listen to music in the past? All of these are pretty intriguing and interesting in its own way, and also brings out new ideas for what can be the next thing in technology. Again, if we say so, all the old comes back. It's a cycle. So learning from what has happened in history is actually really important, and actually trying the medium itself gives it more meaning. So connection to the past, one of it is learning about it. The other factor is also, I would say, nostalgia. The fact that when you were a kid, you have a bunch of albums, a lot of baby pictures of you taken by your parents or your family members, taken on these medium itself. So digital cameras, early 2000s camera, or maybe videos of you that were recorded on a handheld camcorder of some sort. So all of these bring back the nostalgia feeling. Your father might be one of those who collected vinyls or had their own like CD collection or something. So all of these has that feeling of nostalgia for you because it brings back those childhood memories. That might affect your decision now. You might want to recreate those memories. You might want to have that feeling of nostalgia. You might want to create new memories. And because you have seen these memories for you yourself as a child, you want to recreate that in the present time. So maybe that's why people are also attracted towards these old technology, to bring back that feeling of nostalgia. I'm a little hungry, but when I opened it, every biscuit is like broken in multiple pieces, so I don't know how I'll be able to eat it right now. Maybe later, but we'll keep this aside. Number 5 is the uniqueness factor. Not everything was mass produced or have stayed and passed the test of time. So you will find rare gems, unique designs. If we say like digital cameras, you will find some unique designs. You will find some products that are secondhand that have some kind of fault in it, which actually adds up to its charm. And you won't find the same product with the same condition elsewhere. So again, whatever you find, it's a rare gem. It's a unique experience to be working with it. If we talk about music, like in terms of vinyl records and stuff, a lot of albums that were produced in like 50s, 60s or 70s were made to be listened on a record player, to be played on a record player. So they were mastered in a certain way. A lot of them haven't been remastered into maybe like a CD form or a digital version of it. So the product itself adds to that coolness factor, that you have something that is so unique. You are also giving life to something that was vintage. So maybe you bought it from a second-hand market and you are giving a new life to it. So yeah, for sustainable living and stuff. That's also pretty great. Point number 6, which can be taken positively or negatively because it's controversial. It's that it's just a trend. Slow media is a trend, or vintage feel, vintage vibes is a trend, and people are doing it to look cool and be current and be involved, I once thought that okay, maybe I should have a vinyl collection, and then I seriously thought about it and I was like, do I need to do it, or am I like doing it because I see a lot of albums and like vinyl collections of people online? Is it because I'm buying into the trend, or do I actually want to do it? And that's when I was like, let me hold myself back. It's also because, again, I would say like it's a vibe as well. It's an aesthetic. So for the pictures that I click on my phone, I kind of added a little bit more like fadey effect to it, make it more slightly blurred or add glitch or something like that, and which can all be possible in today's technology. Just it's a vibe that I like and not the actual medium. So I will not go buy a digital product, a digital camera, and then click a picture on it, but I might add a certain effect and then have it look a certain way because it's trendy. Having digital cameras, clicking Polaroid pictures, clicking pictures on a disposable camera, it is trending. Vintage, the vintage file, the vintage vibes, the feel of it, the aesthetics is trending. Thrifting has been trending for a few years now. So sustainable living, thrifting, that is trending. So slow technology, slow media, I think is also a trend, and it can easily be switched on and be something else in a year or two. And this could only be a passing trend or just a vibe that people enjoy. So I'm not sure, but it's just a trend that people are buying into. This is also a reason, I would say, for the increase of this retro vintage obsession. The next point is actually pretty simple and pretty obvious if you think about it. It's just that we have options and multitudes of options these days. So it's just the human tendency to being curious that we want to try out different things. So if I like listening to music, I can either watch the music video of it on YouTube, listen to it through there. I can either just listen to the music, the audio version of it on Spotify or some kind of audio player, but it's also the medium. I'm listening to it through my phone. So why not switch it up? Why not take out my MP3 player? Why not listen to music on a completely different medium, completely different design, completely different device? So why not listen to it as a vinyl CD? Why not play it on a turntable and listen to music through it? Because you have a lot of options, why not try and experiment? It is a form of art. You are eventually enjoying what you're doing, but with a certain different kind of medium, because the experience can be completely different. If you ask me, clicking a picture from your phone is completely different from clicking a picture on a digital camera or a Polaroid camera. So with different mediums, just the curiosity of human mind, and also you being exposed to so many different options that you might want to just try and have fun, experiment, and be like, okay, I want to switch up. So it's just the fun of it, which leads to the next point, which is resistance. People can be, well, because there's so much new coming every month in terms of the fast moving technology, that you are a bit resistant to the constant change. You might want to go back, you might want to be in a certain like safe space. So you have your digital cameras to give you that comfort. You have your vinyl record to give you that comfort. Maybe it's people just being saturated with using their phones for everything. I use my phone for internet, I use my phone for work, I use my phone for listening to music, for clicking pictures. I might just want to keep my phone aside for a bit and use something else. So the resistance to fast moving technology, or just what's coming new, because there's so much of it, that you might want to stay away, take a step back. And that's why these turntables, these digital cameras are not as inconvenient to you. They actually give you that sense of you are using something, you are actually spending time with something that is not your phone, that is not the technology. Another point which I actually quite vibe with is the interior and decor aspect of it, because these things are so aesthetically beautiful. Their designs are pretty, they come in a bunch of shape and sizes. For example, cameras, you can find it in multiple colors. Some go really well, vibe well with your personality, some do not. Same goes with record players, same goes with the vinyl album covers. I have seen so many people display their vinyl collection, vinyl albums, because the art is so beautiful. So you can have something that relates to the interior ambience of your space, that relates to your personality, so you can showcase it inside the house, inside the space that you live in, that you spend your most time in. It adds to the character of the space. Anyone who would enter your space will get a vibe of what person you are, or what personality your house exudes, if that makes sense. So I'm just saying that people can have these as a display prop or something that adds to the interior decor aspect of it, and I'm not complaining at all. I also have a Polaroid camera which has stopped working. Yeah, I don't use it anymore, but because it's so beautifully designed, because it's in a light baby pink color, I really like it, and I have it on display all the time. Yes, it's just a prop in my house and I like it. And last point is the whole experience of it. It can either feel like a ritual, like you getting up, brewing your morning coffee, much as you are framing your shot, being present and clicking pictures. Or it can be super fun, like giving out disposable cameras for a night out and having cute fun pictures with it. So you're just messing around. You're just listening music because you're enjoying the music. You are not listening to a particular playlist, or you're not venturing out on different songs just because it would mess up an algorithm on Spotify. So you can pick up a different album, you can listen to it front to back. It's just an experience of it. It's just you being present and appreciating the art, and maybe exploring a fun creative side of yourself. Okay, so these were all the points that I had on my list. I'm gonna just end with this final quote stating Alice Bradley. She is a journalist and a photographer, and she says that digital media is so easily blurred because there is so much of it. Having physical records of historical moments builds appreciation and a sense of respect for things. And for me, definitely, if it's meaningful, if it creates more value, if it's create more fun, the experience is something that you enjoy and creates memories, and you appreciate the process, you are being more immersed and being more attached with the art form, the medium itself, which makes you appreciate the art form, or tap into your creative self, then why not? Even if it's just a trend, bringing back the vintage, bringing back the old like retro technology, even if it's just a trend, I think it should stay for a long time, and I'm all for it. And that was it. That was the video. And that's it for episode 2 of Just Another Conversation. I would really appreciate if you could let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit the like button. Obviously, leave a comment, share this video with your friends and family, and do let me know what kind of other topics do you want me to cover, and with who. Yeah, guests on the next show. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.